Welcome to WTSS, What the Stars Say, where we look to the stars to divine the times. This week, detainees in the Delaney, New Jersey concentration camp in Newark have gone on a hunger strike that has taken the U.S. by storm. In other news, Megan the Stallion and Solange posted tandem Instagram stories that have left the girlies guessing. We will also witness a full moon this weekend. What should we be letting go? Let's explore all of this and more today on WTSS, What the Stars Say. How are you, Pam?
I am great, Kita. How are you?
I'm also great.
I love doing this with you.
Me too.
I would like to take this moment to encourage folks to subscribe to us on YouTube, to save our podcast if you're listening to us on your favorite podcast provider. And if you're watching us on YouTube and you do like to listen to podcasts, we're on Spotify, iHeart, and lots of other providers. If we're not on your favorite, then please leave us a comment, because we'd be looking at the comments, and we'd love to chat with you and hear how you feel about what we're talking about.
Wow, let's get started.
What's poppin', Kita? What's going on?
We need to talk about what's going on at Delaney Hall. We need to talk about what's going on in Philly. We need to talk about Megan Thee Stallion and Solange. 100%. And we have to talk about the full moon. There's so much.
So what's going on in New Jersey?
Okay, there's a detention center that houses 1,000 people. It's an ICE detention center. The people who they hire are just regular people. It could be your neighbor who heard, hey, we're hiring people to detain immigrants, and they were like, yeah, that's what I want to do, right? And so these people are out in Newark. There's a man who got detained. I have his name here. Let me see. It's dastardly, Pam.
I want to clarify that ICE is under the Department of Homeland Security, so they're not a branch of the military, but they are militarized, right? They carry weapons and they have jurisdiction to shoot people, right? Because they carry weapons, so they are the enforcement arm of immigration. Which has existed for a long time, but in the capacity that they exist now, what you're talking about with like regular ass people, just like, yeah, I want to fucking abuse people. That is a newer development in the enforcement of immigration in the United States of America.
Yeah. So this Delaney Hall has detained, his name is Martin Alonso Soto Hernandez, okay? And he organized within the detention center, it's a hunger strike. There's a hunger strike happening. 300 people out of 1,000 people in the detention center are participating in this hunger strike. 1/3 of the people, at least. Because their food is inedible. They can't eat it. His wife outside of the prison organized a rally, and this is happening in Newark, New Jersey. Organized a rally. People showed up last Friday. Senator Andy Kim showed up as well to like peruse the facilities. He went to see what's going on. Like, people are complaining about what's going on. These inmates have attorneys that are communicating to the public how inhumane the conditions are in this detention center. And so Senator Andy Kim went to check out what was going on. He witnessed for himself how inhumane the conditions were, how inedible the food was, how the people weren't able to sleep, were sleeping on the floor, weren't provided like humane, livable conditions. And what happened is that his wife organized a rally to get him out of that detention center. And people showed up in support of him. They wanted to relocate him to another facility because he organized this hunger strike inside of the detention center. And I really hope that he's okay and that he's taken care of and that he's not being hurt.
Mm-hmm. It's a fucked up situation, and nobody should have to endure the kind of conditions that these people are putting up with. And he and his wife are trying to ensure that everybody is safe, and they're punishing him for it, is what it appears to be.
Worst case scenario is that they want an excuse to hurt other people for fun. And they find a job like ICE, and they go to Newark, New Jersey, and they antagonize this crowd of people so that they can hurt them. And the reason why Senator Andy Kim got like sprayed with mace, basically, the people formed a human chain across the entrance and exit of the building so that nobody could leave or come, right? Because they were trying to relocate the man who started the hunger strike. And they were like, no, we're not going to let you do that. And the way that ICE responded to that was first to drop pepper bombs, mace bombs, like canisters of mace. And that's what Senator Andy Kim got struck with. And then they drove a tank into the chain of people versus a tank, right? In order to relocate this man.
It's a fucked up situation. And it's, why, Europeans will get into the comments of situations like this and say, you Americans aren't doing anything, you aren't doing anything, you aren't doing anything. And I don't think the rest of the world understands, particularly from the perspective of Black American people, right, who are intimately familiar with the sadistic nature of the United States of America and its willingness to take lives arbitrarily and will not govern itself in such a way that people who take lives are, even scolded for this behavior, let alone punished by the judicial system. I don't think the rest of the world understands how afraid Americans are of our government, right? I was telling you about how I was watching Bolivia, right? Bolivia is standing up and protesting, and they are organized and they are working together as one, and they are in the streets with their families, right? Blocking highways and shit with rocks and whatnot. And, people are like, Americans take note. We fucking know. Americans do block the highway. However, Americans also have to deal with a militarized police force, the biggest, strongest, most well-equipped military on the planet. Most people who protest are not coming with weapons. what is happening in the United States is unique in the world in that our empire will kill us, right? ICE went to Italy and got their asses kicked because you're not allowed to have weapons as a police officer in Italy.
You can't
If
have weapons.
ICE did not have deadly weapons on their bodies, this would be a completely different conversation. But they have deadly weapons and they are willing to use it to murder us.
They went toward a human chain with a fucking tank.
And those people moved. Right?
If it wasn't a tank, it was a SWAT van. Any moving vehicle that's going towards a person, you're gonna run out of the way. People who they hire for immigration, customs, and enforcement, they believe that they're doing a good job. They believe that they are doing what is right for America. They're coming here and they're charging toward a human chain with vehicles, and they think that it's fine. They're threatening people's lives and they think that it's necessary. They're detaining even U.S. citizens. These are citizens of the United States of America being detained in these facilities, and they think that it's for the greater good. And they have weapons, and they have jurisdiction to have those weapons. And if they kill somebody, they don't face any consequences. That's what we're dealing with in the United States of America.
So, with this level of inherent institutionalized violence, what's happening, and I will get on my Aquarius Stallion high horse and be like, when Trump was running for office, 2016, and he was rallying the racism up out of people, I saw then the plan is a civil war. That is what they are pushing us towards, right? Not just by the recreation of concentration camp conditions, not only with these ideological battles of say who is a person and who is not a person, the extraction of natural resources for these data centers, right? Like they're investing all of this money and saying that this is your new future, deal with it. We're going to take all of your water and turn it to piss so that you have to engage with Nestle if you want to drink water and bathe, right? All of these things are pushing us to a point because we do not feel safe engaging our government in such a way that we will not be murdered. The conditions in the United States for the average person, right? For many people, it already is, but for the average United States of American citizen, non-citizen human being that lives in the continental United States, it is not to a point where it's either these conditions or death, right? Most people are not at that point yet, but they are trying to push us to that point to create the conditions for civil war. The rest of the world, I feel like, is trying to push us to engage before those conditions have hit. And I don't think that they understand how terrifying it is to live in the master's house, right? Because to live outside of the situation and being impacted by it sucks. It sucks having to deal with the bullshit of some other country's problems. Right? But the terror of living in the same house as the person that owns the fucking guns, that wields the whip, That's terror too. That is a different kind of terror. And yeah, it's fucked up. It's fucked up. It's fucked up is what it is.
Senator Andy Kim went to visit. He went to check it out, and he saw for himself what the conditions were like. And the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, was like, no, that's not happening. We provide these people with a place to sleep, food to eat, and a shower to wash themselves. But what they're not saying is that the place to sleep is a fucking ground. The food to eat has maggots in it. And the shower is cold. Unnecessarily. We're in Newark, New Jersey. This is one of the biggest cities in America. No reason for anything like that to be happening. And I personally believe that everyone is welcome all over the world, and that when we go outside of the planet, borders are not visible because they're not real. No human being is illegal. I want to fight for a world without borders. That being said, if you believe that borders are real, do you believe that people should be treated this way for no reason? And the people in this detention center are asylum seekers.
The logic is missing for me. You know what I mean? It's right, capitalism abuses people at like every level for profit, right? Like in the workplace, in prisons, at school, right? In neighborhoods with neglect, you know, like all this shit. But I don't like, is it profit? Is there profit in this? Is there there's, it's abuse for the sake of abuse, because like the food with maggots in it, they're like the floor sleeping, like it's giving IDF. You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying. If you were a piece of shit motherfucker who just cared about hurting other people, and someone was like, hey, join ICE, what the fuck would you do? That's it. That's how it works. There is no logic. There is no end goal. The end goal is that if you create a place where people who are sadistic get to enact their fantasies, then they will flock there. It's really hard to imagine that these people exist because the everyday person doesn't have that kind of mindset. We're not out here trying to hurt other people, but those people exist. I don't know what else there is to say. It's diabolical. People, human beings in the world deserve to be treated with respect and humanity, and anyone who disagrees can kiss my ass. We can move on to the next topic, which is Megan Thee Stallion and Solange.
Yes. So, the internet was all abuzz about these two powerhouses of music and entrepreneurship and bad bitchery, spending time together, hanging out on a boat, both looking super cute. There were a lot of, you know, bzz, 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 about why they were together, why were they on the water, you know. There was a lot of conversation about it being like a spiritual retreat, you know, like all this, that, and the third. My first inclination was, is this like a soft launch? Are they dating? Are they like, you know, I don't know. I don't know these people.
Amazing. But no, Solange and Megan Thee Stallion are not dating. Yeah, I know. I know you all want it, but it's not happening. This and Solange didn't take Meg out to the water either, or if she did, that's not her business. Like,
Right. I mean, realistically, it's two friends hanging out on a boat, having a good time, right?
y'all be, yeah.
Speculating more than that, you know, it is what it is.
It'd be sick,
Um,
though. But yeah.
but I have their charts here.
Mm.
So let's talk about it. Okay, so Solange is a Cancer Sun, Leo rising, and she's an Aquarius moon.
No
Okay.
way. Damn.
Yeah. And Megan is an Aquarius sun. She's a Taurus rising, right? Did I make that up? She's a Leo moon. Okay, so like that's like off top. That's like obvious friend synastry, right?
Yeah.
Like
Good friends.
you know, there's some sun opposite moon happening, moon conjunct. Well, let's see. Okay, let me just look at the charts. All right. So Megan has Mercury in Aquarius, which is conjunct Solange's moon. So like they probably be on the phone, right? They relate to each other. They're chit-chatting. And Solange is like so here's the thing with an Aquarius moon. I love Aquarius moons. They have a tough time with their mamas. Okay? They get a very like icy, like not a super emotional experience with their parent, right? So they are self-nurturers and sometimes have like there's like a thing to like get to know them, right? Like they have like a shield up. And I would especially expect that from Solange because she is a Cancer and Cancers have that like
Ooh, they already
protective shell, you know what I mean? Like Cancer is the crab, they live inside of a hard shell. They're softies on the inside, right? Because their exoskeleton is trying to protect them from the world, but they're sweet little softies. So there's that. Also Solange has is that Jupiter and Pisces. She's an extra sensitive human being. So
and her music.
so this is a very interesting friendship. And Megan has Venus in Leo, which like
makes sense.
or Solange has Venus in Leo. My bad. Megan has Mars in Leo. Megan's Venus is Megan's Venus. Megan's Venus is in Capricorn.
Okay, word.
Earthy. She's about that bag.
Yeah, she needs like a fucking king because she's an empress. Like she needs I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional.
So what I see here is that they are kindred spirits. They understand each other. There's a lot of balance in the relationship. I don't think there's a lot of like power struggle bullshit between the two of them. I think they're good friends and they understand each other really well, and probably Solange is someone that Megan can call when she wants to talk to somebody who really understands her. And Solange probably feels really nurtured by Megan because she understands that moon on a deep level. Like, Aquarius moons love Aquarius suns because we can get right to their emotional and we can touch that in a way that other people are not able to find, you know? Because like the thing about being ruled by Saturn in your sun or your moon in your luminaries, like you are super emotional. It's just expressing it and finding a way to give it to others is that's dangerous shit. That's dangerous shit, which is why people don't think that we're emotional and we're closed off. Like, I'm not going to give access.
I'm not about to give everybody that.
Right. It's not for you. If it's not for you, it's not for you. Okay? Aquarius knows how to mind their emotional business. And so that's really important for a Cancer because Cancers are ruled by the moon. So having someone who can understand her moon is like, oh my God, girl, you just get me, right? So she probably feels very safe with Megan. And Megan's moon is in Leo, which is where Solange's Venus is. So she and like Venus, I feel like is very important.
Venus, I feel that with my sun, moon, and ascendant. My Venus comes out every single day of my life.
Love that.
Yeah.
I feel like the sun opposite Venus is very it's very sweet. It's like I don't know, because the opposites, right? Opposites live in each other's seventh houses of relationships. So there's like an understanding of what the other person wants a friendship to look like. So, I mean, it could also be like that could be a love placement. Just saying.
Keeping things spicy. I'm like,
and
I'm not gonna
Venus and Mars are the same.
I just hate it when people be in people's business like that. So I'm just like, y'all leave them alone. Like, I want them to be making music. It's not up to me. What I want is for them to be making music. But if all they did was chill out together in the lake, let them chill out together in the lake. And if they did anything else, let them do anything else. Like, stay out their business. Like, it's not our business. Like, that's the Aquarius in me speaking.
It's not our business, but that's like the fate of being high profile, you know?
Yeah,
the conversation. I'm gonna bring up the chart of the
full moon.
Full moon. I forgot to bring it up before we started. All right, so full moon in Sagittarius is happening Sunday, May 31st. Some people are saying it's 4:44 a.m. That's false. It's actually happening at 4:45, but go off. Okay. So full moon in Sagittarius, let's talk about what a full moon is. A full moon is when the sun is on one side of the planet Earth and the moon is on the other side of the planet Earth. And on an astrological chart, that is called an opposition, right? They oppose each other. So the sun the sun in my example is giving the moon a whole bunch of light, and that is why it's bright, right? So this opposition creates a very strong vibe, okay? And I've been living next to the ocean for a few moon cycles, and let me tell you, when they say that the fucking sea is impacted by moon transits, you can see it happen out there, right? So like there's a beach, there's less beach when the moon is full, and then over the course of the week it goes away and you get the sand again. And then when the moon is new, the ocean comes back up the shore and there's less beach. And then over the course of the week, it goes away. So like the tides when they say the tides are impacted by the moon, it's not bullshit. It's not a couple of inches. These are like yards, meters, right? Meters of beach disappear every 2 weeks. It ebbs and flows.
The moon's far away.
The moon is really fucking far away. You know how far away the moon is from the Earth? The moon, in the space between the moon and the Earth, you can fit all the rest of the planets. You fit Jupiter, Mercury, Venus, Mars,
Wow.
Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, Pluto, all of them back to back to back to back to back would fit in between that space. It's very far away. You know, I was walking with my kid and she was like, the moon's really tiny. And I was like, well, actually it's huge. It's just really, really far away.
Far away.
So
Yeah.
anyway, this moon happening in Sagittarius, it's Gemini season. Sagittarius moon is active. It is an active moon, right? I had a lot of caffeine today, and I feel like that lines up.
That's Sagittarius.
Like, Sagittarius be doing the most, right?
When you said you were having coffee, I was like, you know what I want to do, which I never do, is drink coffee, and I did.
Yeah. I had 2 coffees at dinner time. Like, what? What is going on? I also didn't have any coffee this morning, which is like unusual, but anyway, yeah, it's an active moon. So like a new moon, we're usually like getting rid of stuff, but I feel like we should be like doing something for this moon, right? Sagittarius is about movement, it's about travel, it's a fire sign, it's hot. You know, if you're doing new moon rituals, like burn some shit, you know, light some shit on fire. Safely. But burn the shit,
Yes,
you know,
safely.
like if you're getting rid of some people, if you're getting rid of some old vibes, like write them down, pull that shit away from your person, right? Ball it up if you want to, and then torch it, right? Light some incense, light some candles, set the mood, but burn it, right? And like step into your journey, right? Because Sagittarius is about the journey. And this moon, let's see, the moon is near Ceres. So this is like a time, an opportunity to nurture yourself, as well as like, you know, get rid of the bullshit. Maybe learn something new. Maybe there's something that you've been wanting to learn. But like, for real, look at where Sagittarius is in your chart. For me, Sagittarius is in my 2nd house of values and possessions. So it's like, technically, like I got like 2 Taurus moons back to back. Also this month we're having there've been 2 full moons this month. We had the full moon, the Scorpio moon earlier in May, and now we're having Sagittarius moon. Technically it's today for me. So
Same. I mean, like we're both experiencing.
Oh yeah, in the same.
So yeah.
Well, I mean, it was yesterday, a little bit ago, and now it's today for me. You know.
Oh. I was out last night walking along the moon. When there's a full moon, you're not supposed to go outside during a full moon, but I do, and I talk to my people, and I get really good advice.
Says who
It's
though?
awesome.
Says who?
I look
that you're not supposed to.
Yeah, I know.
Like it's your like. What? I hate that shit. I hate that shit. Don't do your magic on a full moon. Don't do this when the moons are happening. Like, witches did magic on new moons and full moons because the energy was potent. Like, I feel like that's the patriarchy. don't interact with this thing, like,
Yeah. Don't use your potent energy when it's
right,
really
fuck
strong.
out of here, like, it's the same as like the demonization of periods, the grossness of periods. Periods are magic. Your menstrual cycle is magic. And fucking that the blood that comes out is like it literally like cures stuff. It helps things heal, There's stem cells in it. Like there's magic.
I There's magic in it.
Period.
I met this death metal frontman, and this is back when I was going through my crazy period phase, you remember? And I had a period that lasted like 2.5 weeks. It was so long. And I was complaining about it, and he was like, and I'm like, how are you a death metal frontman and you can't hear about period blood?
This moon is serious. It's talking to Neptune and Saturn and Pluto. So, like, there is some potent energy. So, if you're really trying to finish some shit, to create the conditions that you need for the next chapter of your life, it's not a bad moon to be doing that. Learn something new.
It's like,
Finish what you started. Relaunch a thing. Start again.
yeah. Okay.
And speaking of relaunching a thing, by the time that we have another episode, I will have relaunched my Patreon. Awesome Everyday Astrology coming out. I'm going to have classes. I'm going to have the ability for people to get connected with me as an astrologer or retainer. It's going to be pretty dope. So stay tuned to get subscribed to Awesome Everyday Astrology because that is happening. All right, Kita, can we get a collective vibe set?
Yeah. I think I'm going to do a full moon reading. What do we need to let go? All right. Let's see what we got. Boom, boom. Knight of Swords. 4 of Wands. 6 of Coins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cups. 9 cups. What do we need to let go of? They're really active. This is like Sagittarius energy too. Because sometimes it's hard to get a card. It's like, please just tell me something. And then other times the cards are like popping. And it's like, I don't need this many cards. No, I'm sorry. But what do we need to let go of? You said what you said. All right. I had the 7 of Cups, 9 of Cups, 4 of Wands, 7 of Cups, 9 of Cups, 4 of Wands. 4 of Wands is on the up and up. You were doing bad, but now you're doing good. 7 of Cups to 9 of Cups is you've been working hard on something that matters a lot to you, and you are getting from, when you work on something and you're on 2 sides of the project before it's finished, before the project is finished. On the one side, you have a vision and you're really excited about it, and that's your motivation. But on the other side, before the project is finished, you're like, I can see where this is going to end up, and I want to realize that. Like, I want to get there. If I think about what we need to be letting go on the up and up after it would self-doubt. People are doubting themselves. People you're on two sides of that project, but what happens here? You're here and you're working on it because you really see the vision, and then you're there and you're working on it because you really see the vision because it's right in front of you. But like, what happens at the tip? You lose motivation, and that's just happening because you've been working hard for a long time and you haven't produced what you want to see. That's like where writer's block exists, artist block exists, like self-doubt. If you're in a block right now, I hope that what I can say can help. I'm gonna pull some oracle cards. I'm thinking about the Newark situation. First of all, Civil War is scary as hell.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say what I want to say, but also, I'm not there. So I feel like I don't have a right.
What do you mean?
You know? Well, I'm not putting my life on the line over there. My fearless freedom lights up the world. When you feel like you're powerless, when you feel like there's nothing that you can do to help, when you feel like you don't have any motivation, you need to remember that your freedom lights up the world. And this is what they took from us in their bid for power and control over our lives in order for them to profit. And the people who are the richest are using our lives for their benefit. That's what it is. That is like communism. That's the explanation of capitalism. They want to have a lot of power and control, and they use our lives, our decades of lives, and put us through the ringer so that they can do that. And that's what it's all about. And every single time that we stand up and say, no, this life is mine, it is not yours. You don't get to do whatever the fuck you want to do with my life. That is resistance. And it's an act of warfare. The same way that they shot, what is it, like mace canisters and drove into this human chain with a vehicle in Newark. We enact the same warfare without chemicals, without vehicles, without bullets, without any of that, by just having the courage and the strength and the bravery to live our own lives. To live our own lives. My fearless freedom lights up the world. My fearless freedom lights up the world. It's hard to be fearless. It's so scary. But the truth is that if you witness someone who was debilitated in danger, you would probably act to help them. I think that we, like, the majority of us have like that inclination, and it's the same. Oh, I mean, I can't, Pam, I can't like tell people to endanger their own lives when I'm not doing that myself. I just can't. It's like not fair. I don't know. I want to get one more card. One more message, please, for the writer's block. I let go of the shadow of the past by seeing someone for the first time with the eyes of love. I let go of the shadow of the past by seeing someone with the first time, or for the first time with the eyes of love. That's self love. And you know, the more you practice love on yourself, the easier it is to love other people.
That's
Yeah. Yeah. It's easier. It comes naturally. Oh, if you're going through a block this full moon, if you're facing violence that you don't have any control over, I want you to understand that you have control over yourself. You're a special, unique person. And I know there's 8 billion of us, but it's kind of fascinating how there's 8 billion of us and none of us have lived the same life. And the people who came before us and the people who come after us, even twins, triplets, whatever tuplets, these people are born, and none of them live the same life. None of us live the same life. If you're feeling right now like you don't know how to move forward, you're at a block, you're facing violence, and you feel powerless, just understand that there's nobody else like you. And you deserve to feel comfortable in your own body. And that will be the spark to everything else. The world needs you. You, specifically, as who you are. Nobody else. Right? And everyone else at the same time. And that's on Maya Angelou. All right, I'm done.
Yay! Thank you for that, Kita. That was lovely.
Yay. Appreciate
So,
it. I see.
thanks to everyone who's listening, watching, enjoying. Thank you so much for hanging with us again on another episode of WTSS What the Stars Say. Please remember to like and subscribe and see about our Patreons for a deeper connection, building more community. And we'll see you in the comments. And we'll see you next time on WTSS.
What the Stars Say, where we use the stars to divine the times.
Yay!
Yay!